Right, we've been talking about the news that will no doubt disappoint a number of Premier League clubs. That's that Harry Kane has revealed he's keen to extend his stay at Bayern Munich, admitting he has less interest in coming back to England than he thought. He's got 2 years left in his contract at Bayern, but has a release clause in his contract that means he would be allowed to leave for £54 million in January. Kane said, in terms of the Premier League, I don't know. If you'd asked me when I first left to go to Bayern, I would have said, for sure I would come back. Now, I've been there a couple of years, I would probably say that's gone down a little bit, but I wouldn't say I would never go back. That would, of course, mean a return to Spurs would be looking unlikely for Kane. Let's speak to one of their fans now. Alfie Nicholson joins us. Right, Alfie, are you starting to think that you might well have seen the last of Harry Kane in a Tottenham shirt?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, those comments sort of put a dampener on it. I felt that there was a chance, especially with that sort of release clause and the rumour that we had sort of first dibs on him if he did come back. The sort of thing that was holding me back the whole time, which seems to be proven right now, is that why would he almost want to come back, barring the Premier League record, which doesn't really hold that much allure for him? I'm not too sure. There's not much for him to come back to Spurs unless we're challenging at the top of the Premier League or in European competitions regularly, which we're currently not doing.
Well, yeah, you're not doing it now, but does this make it look like he thinks that you can't compete for trophies? And if not, why not? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps his stance would change if it was Tottenham. Yeah, exactly. I mean, 17th would probably need to be improved upon for Kane to come back to Tottenham, I think, though, unfortunately. Yeah, I think perhaps the difference between Premier League and coming back to there and coming back to Tottenham is a bit of a difference. I think Kane would still have a desire to come back to us if we were at the top of the Premier League. I don't think he's going to go to Arsenal, and I don't think he's going to go to the likes of Liverpool, really. So if he's come back to the Premier League, it's probably going to be someone like Tottenham. So I think if we start to climb up the league,
let's just. I know you're a Tottenham fan, but let's just kind of say if he comes back to the Premier League, he's not coming back to Tottenham. That's no. He's coming back to a top end team. Like, yes, we talk about the Bundesliga and how comparisons to English football, German football, etc. He's playing for Bayern Munich, best team in that league by a country mile. He's not going to leave there and then all of a sudden go 5 runs down the ladder to Tottenham to play in the Premier League. Absolutely no chance.
I agree, but if he goes back to the Premier League, who else is he going to go to?
This is a counter-argument to it. I don't think he comes back because there's no club real that I get they'll make a space for this Harry Kane. But of course, I'm not sure Tottenham ticks them boxes anymore.
Yeah, I agree in some senses, but I think if he does want to come back and finish that Premier League record off, which he probably takes 2.5 seasons to do, I think it'll be in a few years if it does happen. I don't think it'll be imminent, as you said, because we've got to sort of make up that gap and Kane's got to sort of lower his level almost, and perhaps there'll be a chance to meet in the middle. But as you said, I think even a team like Barcelona or a top European team will be the better destination for him, logically.
I still think that if he can have even more success at Bayern Munich this season, which let's face he will, let's hope he has success with England, he may well feel that now is the time to come home. As you, I think you two are right.
To Tottenham.
I think you two are right.
So Harry Kane wins the Bundesliga,
thinking more Champions League.
Okay, wins the Champions League, goes deep in the World Cup, wins the World Cup. All of a sudden, he's going to go, oh, do you know what? Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm going to go to Tottenham.
I think he might. I think he might go. I've won everything at Bayern Munich, Champions League included. This is all hypothetical on him winning the Champions League and England winning the World Cup, which means he probably wins the Ballon d'Or, depending on his numbers, which so far are brilliant. I honestly don't think it's so stupid.
I'm going to go and sign for Tottenham.
I don't think it's stupid.
No way, Tom.
It's happened before. Players have gone back to their clubs who, at the time, weren't necessarily at the top.
I think if he came back, it'd be the same sense as Gareth Bale when he came back. He had a few years where he had a few injuries. He was still at the top level, but he'd started to wane slightly. And he thought, you know what? I love my time at Spurs. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go and get that love again and feel loved playing football again. I think personally the move to Bayern Munich was a bit puzzling to start with. I get the idea if he wanted to go win the trophy and get that off his back, but does anyone really rate the Bundesliga that high to think, oh, he's done it now, he's done it all in football, he's proved the haters wrong? That
well, if he wins the Champions League, probably.
Yeah,
and they could.
Yeah, and then perhaps, maybe that discounts his whole, it will put the monkey off his back if he hasn't won something of note. and he thinks, oh, I'll go and enjoy my football again. But I can't see that he's that sort of person to do it at the top of his game, unless, as you said, we start challenging the top of the league in Europe again, which would be ideal.
Well, you are challenging at the top of the league. How happy are you with your start of the season? You're at the moment, looking at the table, you're third at the moment. You're only 2 points off top.
Yeah, it was ideal. I mean, I was there at the Leeds away end on the weekend, and that felt like a really, really important result. We sort of dropped some points to Bodo Glimt and Wolves, and it felt like we were sort of losing our way a little bit, but that's put us right back on track now. And third's a great position to be in. I'm just worried about the fixtures coming up. We've got Chelsea, Newcastle away in the Cup, Man United. I know, obviously, it's not the Man United of old coming up. All those games are pretty tough ones to take. Even Everton away, they look in good form at the moment. So it's going to be an important next month to see how serious we are in the league this season, I think.
I maintain that Harry Kane could still come back to your club in the future, but it won't be this January. Right, we're asking all the fans about their top 3 signings of this decade, so since 2020. I'll tell you what Sky Sports News' Michael Bridges said in a moment, but who are your top 3 Spurs signings?
I mean, first, there's been plenty of bad ones, so it's sort of slim pickings at the top. But I think the top one would be Van der Ven, purely because of the player that he's going to keep growing into, I believe. His skill set is so unique that it wouldn't surprise me to see him go for sort of the 80 million, 90 million region in a few years' time. So, like to Real Madrid, he's a superstar, really. I think just below him would probably be someone like Christian Romero. We picked him up for £45 million or so, and he's won the World Cup. He's now the club captain. And if he keeps going at the rate he currently is, with his slightly more mature performances, now we're seeing less erratic games from him less often. There's every reason for him to be up there second best signing since 2020. And I think third would probably be Dejan Kulusevski, purely because of the price as well. He was so cheap, £20 million. And he's still got so many games of him. I know he's been out recently with his long-term injury, but he's still so young. I think 25 perhaps. And he's been so consistent for us. And he's also having a leadership role. I know he's not in the leadership team at the moment, but he leads on the pitch. And even in the last few seasons when we've really struggled, he's sort of been the player that shone through every single time. And I think that's sort of the wide consensus amongst Spurs fans, really.
Well, Alfie, to prove you right, Michael Bridge has gone for the exact same 3 as you. So well done, and thanks for coming on.
Good, thank you very much.